Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and a game between Infi and Lucifer here on Amazonia. First thing you guys will probably notice, yes, I did get an updated logo for you guys to cover up. Apparently whoever made it was an Undead fan as opposed to a human fan, so we got like skulls and bone over here. Anyways, let's take a look at the strategies and these players. This was taken from IEF. I believe this to be a best of 3 series, and it is going to be a human versus an undead matchup. Now, human versus undead, one of those matchups that we've all seen countless number of times. Most likely we'll have an archmage versus a death knight, as those are the two strongest heroes in terms of late game viability as well. I know I made an announcement in one of my StarCraft 2 videos. Don't know if some of you guys who watch my WarCraft 3 don't watch my StarCraft 2, but yes, my wife Honey is expecting, in fact. So I will have another bundle of joy. And also some of you guys out there who wonder, why am I so tired? Yes, I am. I do have a full-time job besides this. And if I did have enough time to dedicate to full-time casting, I would be able to look more into the different strategies that are out there. Now, both of these players and in their typical builds, I'm not quite sure what to expect in terms of their particular builds here or what they're going to be trying to do. Now, WarCraft 3 does have a lot more random elements than, say, in StarCraft 2. That's one of the reasons why timings and build orders are not nearly to the T as they are in StarCraft 2, as the difference in drop items and the creep locations and things like that really change things from map to map. That's one of those reasons why I don't try to go too or delve too deeply into what one particular player is doing, as I'm afraid that if I do, oh, there's the ensnare, and I believe that Acolyte will get taken down. There it goes. We are going to see some Archmage now coming out with a lightning shield and some militia in order to try and creep out this renegade wizard camp. The archmage is doing a good job making sure that the lightning shield is not damaging any of his own units, and clearing this 5-3-3 creep camp should be pretty effective. Now on the other side, the death knight will be coming in, has a rod of necromancy, and may be able to get off a death coil kill here in just a moment on some of these lower hit point peasants as they are walking back. Death Knight now inside here. Is he going to be able to get the kill steal? The rogue at 102 exactly. Oh, just misses it, and now there is that rod of necromancy coming in. So it looks as though there will be a death coil. That is a little bit of a waste there by Lucifer. Lucifer getting some damage onto the archmage, but the archmage will slowly just regenerate that back. And so far, it feels like Lucifer has not been able to slow down the gameplay of Infi. Skeletal Minion now making its way back, wanting to make sure not to feed any more experience. Archmage, once he gets to level 2, has a very easy time leveling. The additional Brilliance Aura means more mana, which means more water elementals, which means not only more DPS, but more damage mitigation, as the water elemental is the one to absorb much of the damage early on in creeping. Now, it looks like Infi will be coming back around for a very, very fast creep here at what I will call the 12 o'clock position. Makes perfect sense, as Infi most likely will be trying to establish up an expansion rather quickly. One footman does go down there, as we may see some more damage being dealt still. Alright, in comes some more attacks. That rock golem, back-to-back water elementals as the militia are now trying to come in, and we also see Crypt Fiends joining in on this fight. I like the Crypt Fiend addition. The problem will be the sheer number of footmen and militia nearby. Alright, the Death Knight could get off perhaps another Death Coil. Is he going to be doing exactly that? No, not going to be able to catch up there. One very low hit point peasant does get taken down in the back, as a Cloak of Shadows comes through in a clutch situation for Infi. One of those perfect examples of an item drop really changing the course of the game, where Infi could have been a little bit more aggressive than he normally would have been. You can see there he is once again, being just hiding in the shadows there, as Lucifer most likely did not have any dust of appearance, knowing that the Archmage, what are the chances? Oh, level 3 now on the Archmage. Death Knight does pick up the item though, and there is a Scroll of Town Portal. Alright, is that militia? Oh, down goes the Death Knight at level 1, as the Archmage of Infi, with a very, very effective use of Cloak of Shadows, able to dodge that Death Knight just long enough to get the kill. So far, what we'll see the Archmage doing perhaps is setting up this base off over here. We should be seeing an Arcane Tower and a Town Hall in just a moment. The Archmage does have a little bit of free time in order to creep, and I am surprised that he hasn't begun to creep yet, since he is already at level 3. He wants to get up this Archmage to perhaps even level 4, as he knows that he is not going to be getting up a second hero anytime soon. Sometimes some players will choose not to do any creeping so that the lower level creep camps are still available for that level 1 secondary or second hero. Troll Trapper will get taken down. We can see now the Death Knight now changing strategies, opting to take down the Renegade Wizards and doing a bit of creeping on his own. Lightning Shield, there you go. Always doing the small little things that make a very big difference to mitigate any damage whatsoever, as this creep camp will be cleared. Now, taking a look at the Archmage strategy, we can see that there is that Arcane Tower there. He wants to make sure that Arcane Tower is there so that no skeletal minions can come in. On top of that, Lucifer is now just trying to get up to tier 3 most likely. He's currently at Halls of the Dead. He should be trying to get into a Black Citadel sometime soon with a combination Death Knight and Lich. Death Knight Lich combination, very powerful, both offensively and defensively, depending on how you really tech that Lich, or how you train that Lich. If you train the Lich to do Frost Nova, Dark Ritual, that is a lot of damage that you can deal just by chaining those Frost Novas. And the Frost Novas do also have a cool debuff, making it so that those units do move a bit slower. All right, Footman trying to get away. Is the Death Knight going to get the final shot off there? No. Down to 251 hit points as an Arcane Tower now makes its way in. All right. It looks as though the Crypt Fiends are now trying to make their way in here. Are we perhaps going to see that Arcane Tower fall? No. 1 feedback point of damage, as the Footmen are simply retreating once more. Infi now going to start to perhaps sit on a large bank. He wants to get up into that 50 over 50 supply as quickly as possible, and then sit with a whole large number of towers at his natural so that there isn't going to be a lot of pressure. Now, we could have a fair amount of destroyers come in as a bit of a change, and we also see a sacrificial skull. We'll see whether or not that will be used, as Roar now being utilized by the Death Knight. The Death Knight does have that additional +9 attack right now, as we are going to see the Obsidian statue take a bit of damage. All right, there is that sacrificial skull for all of that blight, and now the Lich getting off 2 Frost Novas. You can see how much damage has been dealt. Even though the Footmen do have defend, this is not going well for them at all. All right, in comes a couple of Water Elementals. The Water Elementals now trying to focus down this one Obsidian statue. The Obsidian statue could get back, or is currently regenerating because of that Unholy Aura. One of the benefits of Unholy Aura on a Death Knight, even your mechanical units do regenerate some hit points. All right, there it goes, and now we see level 3 on the Death Knight. Level 3 Death Knight versus a level 4 Archmage, but there is also a level 1 Lich, soon to be level 2 Lich, coming in from around the corner. All right, this Obsidian statue, very low on hit points, has to be very careful, as it needs to perhaps get back on Blight. That Water Elemental still chasing, as where is that Lich? The Lich still fighting here, not quite yet enough mana, and now will be backing away. There's still plenty of Blight there, but the Crypt Fiend still being forced to retreat as the Water Elemental attempting to chase away this Obsidian statue. We are still at Halls of the Dead, and we are now transitioning into Meat Wagons, which does come as a bit of a surprise, but then again correlates or is along the same lines in terms of a strategy as trying to go for those destroyers. Destroyers and Meat Wagons are pretty much the only thing that is effective against a very tower-hungry human player. All right, there go some more units there. Obsidian statue sitting at 48 hit points. It may get picked off. It has to be very careful, as a Water Elemental now going to try to make its way in as well. The Death Knight, will it be able to catch up and may be able to, also using a rejuvenation potion perhaps, replenishment potion, in order to get both more mana and more hit points. All right, here we go. Obsidian statue doing its best to keep the units alive. There is that Lich in the backfield sitting at level 2. Death Knight has arrived as well, as a Meat Wagon is getting in some easy shots onto the building. There you go. Damage is being dealt to the building. Perhaps they should be attacking this cluster of towers right here, and if you're able to actually take down all of those towers, that would be very effective. All right, Scroll of Town Portal actually catches a Archmage and a Footman with Water Elemental trying to do a bit of damage. Are we going to perhaps see a Gargoyle join in the air, as we are still running on 2 bases, and there is still 1 meat wagon attempting to take down this town hall. Alright, here comes the Zeppelin. Zeppelin will be dropping off everything in the back here. Archmage is ready to go. We can see some Spirit Towers now being established, as well as all the Acolytes just going to simply slip through. All but 1, a new Acolyte now quickly being retrained as the damage is now being dealt. There's some Frost Nova coming in. Footman taking a bit of damage, and now in comes the Acolytes to try to do a little bit more healing. And this is going to be a problem. Archmage and 2 Footmen being left behind. It looks as though the Water Elementals will get taken down, as 1 Obsidian Statue, wow, is somehow escaping the run of those 2 Militia. And now we see our second hero choice from Infi going for that Mountain King. Spirit Towers are now up. Archmage now doing more creeping off over here. You can see that the Archmage is still sitting at level 4. Mountain King still sitting at level 1. As meat wagons are now once again on a roll. Are they going to be able to actually take down this one particular building? That is the question there, as the Mountain King, may actually catch up to Obsidian Statue. Wait for it, wait for it. Wow, that is that is going to be legend. Wait for it. Oh, wow. Somehow able to keep alive this one Obsidian Statue. I wasn't sure if perhaps Lucifer would want to attack it in order to try and take it down. Alright, here we go. Archmage and double Footmen. Ghouls are back down over here as well. Spirit Towers are in position. And it really feels like Lucifer has a dominant hold on this game. Spellbreakers and Mountain King don't want to engage. Archmage now dropping back in off over here. Are the Ghouls going to turn around and attack? Yes, they are. But there are some Spirit Towers causing a bit of problems. 1 Ghoul will get taken down at the cost of 1 Footman. An exchange, easy exchange there. As now we are going into the Town Hall, putting pressure back onto these Crypt Fiends. Now, Spellbreakers looking to join in on the fight. We may see some feedback damage here as a Goblin Shredder now joining in. The Goblin Shredder, a very, very high DPS unit that can simply be hired, as Militia are now joining in here. It looks as though this one building may get taken down. Is it going to be enough? And it looks as though it is almost enough. 1 more shot and 1 more volley could do it. There it goes, as now 1 of the meat wagons has fallen. Alright, Lucifer playing extremely well, but back down over here. Triple Water Elementals, one of them being from a Wand of Illusion, causing problems, as now we are seeing Lucifer perhaps trying to do a bit of a raid on some transferring peasants. Level 4 on the Death Knight, level 3 now on the Lich, and a level 4, level 3 combination is better, in my book, than that level 4, level 1 combination. Mountain King is getting up that Clarity Potion, though. Coming back over here, Death Knight now making its way over. Will he be able to do? As now we see the meat wagon slowly pushing in and perhaps attempting to take down the Arcane Vault. Couple meat wagons down here. It may finish it off as the Death Knight now comes in. It looks as though the Goblin Zeppelin has escaped down to 400 some odd hit points. No web though, and without web, Archmage quickly gets let go, utilizing that Scroll of Town portal, and now that Zeppelin, will it be able to escape? It looks like it will in fact be able to. Meat wagons now backing away again, running into a stag there. Back over here, we can still see 6 towers at the natural expansion, as we are now finally at Castle. Infi hoping the human tri-hero is stronger than this Death Knight Lich combination that he is currently having to deal with. You can see the meat wagons actually just pummeling this blacksmith here, as we are now seeing also more creeping coming in from the Lich and Death Knight. Death Knight still quite a ways from level 5, Lich still quite a ways from level 4, but I don't believe those hero levels will matter very much, as what they really need to do is increase either their Frost Nova ability or their Death Coil ability. Now, one thing to note, there was a Dark Ritual, so the Lich is going to get a fair amount of mana, but they are going up now against Spellbreakers, and Spellbreakers are the perfect stop for this Lich. Lich unable to get off any Frost Novas on those Spellbreakers, as there you go, Death Coil, Frost Nova quickly coming in, Holy Light now bringing up the rear, as Lucifer may end up losing one of these Crypt Fiends. A 5-second stun is a rather long one, but no longer than or just slightly longer than that 7-second cooldown, as one meat wagon does fall. Let's take a look at the Goblin Shredder. Goblin Shredder actually deals more damage than that Paladin, as the Death Knight now makes its way off to the north. Will it be able to finish this off? No. Death Knight now, the Paladin now able to get off another Holy Light, as we see a Water Elemental going toe-to-toe with an Obsidian statue. Crypt Fiends. Death Knight now trying to engage. There is another Death Coil. Is that going to be enough to take down the Goblin? Yes, the Goblin Shredder does go down. More units are on the run, but there was a Holy Light catching Lucifer, and there is a surround, and wow, a very, very timely surround here may be the issue, as the Crypt Fiends look to finish off some of these units. Is the Death Knight going to have anything left in the tank? No, it does not look that way, as now we do see one Goblin Zeppelin here. Still no web, as the Death Knight may just be resurrected from the tavern. Archmage, Mountain King, Paladin, now all traveling together. It looks as though, yes, the Death Knight was resurrected back at the tavern, now with 500 some odd hit points and 12 mana. And the Death Knight really needs to be careful at this point. We see a tech now to Black Citadel, and Black Citadel does allow for Orb of Corruption, which will most likely go to that Lich for that additional armor debuff. Alright. So far, Lucifer just playing a solid game, not making that many mistakes. Infi making some small mistakes, but quickly getting back into this with the reestablishment of this one particular expansion. So that expansion is now once again up and running, and that will give him an advantage. Meanwhile, let's take a look back down over here. Is the Death Knight going to be able to get away in time? Yes, he will, as the Knights are upgraded 1-0, but without Animal War Training. Alright, Crypt Fiend, Death Knight, Obsidian Statues now joining in. We are not going into Destroyer form just quite yet, just going into an Abomination. Let's take a look at this. I can't even tell if their Destroyer form is optional, as it looks like, wow, the Goblin Zeppelin, even though it had -5 armor, was still barely to escape there, as Infi now looking to do a little bit more creeping. Paladin now sitting at level 2. Mountain King should be sitting at level 3. We can see Boots of Quel'Thalas. Is the Death Knight going to be able to come in and perhaps steal some experience or get some? It looks as though, yes, it might actually happen, as there is a very low hit point Water Elemental, and that was just fell. Due to timer. Death Knight now looking to back away against. You can see both sides still fighting it up. There's a Death Coil on the Paladin, as the Paladin uses a Divine Shield. Both sides still trying to fight the Abomination, sitting at 0-0 upgrades. Is the Death Knight going to use that? Yes, he does use the potion, and now has about 10 more seconds before it is going to wear off. All right, Death Knight going after that Mountain King. Mountain King getting Holy Lighted once again. Death Knight needs to look and back away here, as another Crypt Fiend will get, another Crypt Fiend will get a killing blow on a Spellbreaker. Both sides still fighting it up. There you go. The Mountain King, the Paladin, and the Archmage apparently looking like they're taking a picture together. Quickly gets Frost Nova'd and takes a fair amount of damage. Here we go. What is happening next? Lich sitting at level 4. Not enough mana to really do anything, but there is the GG anyways. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Player's forces are under attack. The town is under player's forces are under attack. Player's forces are under attack. The town is under siege. Player's forces are under attack. The town is under siege. A player's forces are under attack. A player's forces are under attack.